All right, so my name is Chase Johnson, and I will be talking about happiness. So, happiness is a state of mind. Everyone has their own way of interpreting happiness. But is true moral happiness obtainable? Most of us, if not all of us, try to find a way to find happiness. Some of us may feel like we have found happiness in ourselves, or maybe in nature or others. Personally, on numerous occasions, I have been stuck feeling unhappy. I couldn't get out of the state of mind that I kept feeling unhappy and I couldn't achieve it. When I tried to chase happiness, I felt more unhappy than ever. So today I'll be covering how chasing moral happiness can make you more unhappy, how to strive to achieve the goal of happiness, and how many believe that they have found their true moral happiness. So with life being undefined, it itself and the happiness within it is unachievable. It can never truly be obtained. And no proper man will venture out and find happiness to find his moral purpose. First, let's look at Henry David Thoreau, who wrote Walden. Walden is a character in the book who finds how living a simple life can create some sort of happiness. Thoreau writes in Walden, happiness is like a butterfly. The more you chase it, the more it evades you. But if you just stop and look around you, it will come gently sit on your shoulder. Thoreau explains how if you just look around and slow down in life, you will understand happiness in some sort of way. Happiness will come and find you. And Walden being an individual, he found that sort of happiness. Although it is very difficult today in our society to find time to slow down and find happiness. We can also look at Socrates with his study of happiness. Socrates writes, the secret of happiness is found in not seeking more, but enjoying the capacity of enjoying less. Happiness is not the consequence of materialism life, but it's good to know who you are. We must find the essence of life itself. We must know the good. And to know what evil holds is to know what the essence of good is. And do we as people strive to achieve the goal of happiness? It is being grateful and being finally close to reaching out after all this time and what man has been chasing for thousands of years, which is happiness. Now, let's take a look at David Rast. Rast in his study finds that people who are more grateful can find happiness. But us as humans don't take things for granted anymore, and it is in our nature. This is shown in a brain study also shown by Dan Gilbert. In his study, he found that our frontal lobes have been evolving over the last 150 years, and we are becoming more emotional, which makes us more depressed than ever. We have strayed away from happiness, which makes it harder and harder to capture. And many of us think that we have found the true meaning of happiness. Many think that they have achieved the noblest activity, but this is not true. For this, we're going to look at Christopher McCandless from Into the Wild. McCandless wrote in his journal before his death how happiness is shared when real. McCandless lived in a society for 22 years where he found to be absolutely disgusting. He finally moved to be on his own and found that happiness wasn't found there either. He failed. When he left to find his happiness, he found that he'd never find it again, and that's what causes death. Ayn Rand also talked about finding happiness in her book, For the New Intellectual. In it, she says, neither life nor happiness can be achieved by the pursuit of irrational whims. Man will die before he finds the true happiness and will suffer through time and life to find it. So instead of exploring, go out and find what life really means. As we come to a close, the way we explore happiness is dependent on everyone. It creates a complicated maze, and that within ourselves and even in others and in nature, this is why living beings cannot find our own true moral happiness. It is difficult for most people to solve this puzzle, and it will never be complete. As I said before, today I have covered how chasing true moral happiness can make us less happy, and how many strive to achieve the goal of happiness, and how many believe that they have found true happiness. And man will search in time to find his value and most noblest achievement in happiness. But the improper man will always try to explore the true meanings of happiness, and when he just has to stop. And maybe one day, the soft, gentle touch of his soul will be touched with the truth of happiness. Thank you.
Yeah!